Welcome to GO Show here on News Channel Nebraska and Columbus News Team. Welcome to another episode. If you want to stay up to date with us on the latest, check out Columbus ME News on Twitter or Columbus News Team on Facebook. You can also follow me at CNT Brain on Twitter. Today's episode. Okay, so we're looking at a little bit of golf here because I haven't had a chance to talk about golf really, so I want to talk about some golf here in the first segment. We're going to go into a little bit of soccer and talk about that kind of triangular we're looking at going into districts between Schuyler, Scotus, and Columbus High. And then we'll talk a little bit about satellite camps later and the NCAA just not wanting that to go forward and not allowing that to happen. And does that affect the area? What kind of effect does it have on the kids here in Nebraska? Does it have an effect? And so that's something we're going to get to here in a little bit. So to start off, I want to talk about golf. Now, David City just came off of the Patriot Invite, and that was held Wednesday, and just completely dominated the field. So it was a 10-team invite. Tyler Samick, a returning fourth-place state finisher in Class C, is leading the David City Scouts this year. David City finished with 336 as a team. The next closest was Howells Dodge, another area team who got 388, and then Clarkson Lee also got 388. So just unbelievable. So this kid's shooting very well right now. He's coming off. They play Lakeview. They lost to Lakeview by a few strokes, and now they turn around. They got to do this Patriot Invite, and they just sweep the field, come out hot, and that's just a huge margin golf-wise to beat somebody by. You look at Tyler Samick, shot a 78 overall, and then of course the Landon Sweeney was the next closest one with an 85. So he kind of led the entire group. Just I don't know, it was just domination for Samick. Now he's going to have a big road ahead of him, and if he's going to improve on next year, he's certainly setting himself up to do so. But he's going to need to improve on the shots that he's already taking. Last year, in that first round, he shot a 75, and I want to say he finished with like a 156 or something like that, finishing off with a birdie. So he finished this meet strong. He had some strong play in the state tournament, allowing himself to kind of build on this year. So tying for 14th last year. He's trying to improve on this year, shooting a 78 right now in that invite. He got a lot of teams, there's a little bit more pressure, and I don't know, he's showing that he has the ability to shoot those low scores still, but he's definitely going to need to improve on that if he wants to finish higher moving into the state tournament. But it was pretty windy, beautiful yesterday. It was even windier on Tuesday. And talking about Tuesday, that's when you got to look at Scotus. And now what I think is interesting about Scotus, Scotus is a couple guys going to community college. You got Marshall Dryfirst in CCC, and Jacob Wright, I believe, is going to Northeast Community College. They kind of led that team against Stanton, and Stanton, who finished 5th as a team last year in state, 8th as a team last year in state, is going to be a very strong team going into this year's competition because they returned 4 starters from that state finishing team. And so it'll be I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how Scotus can finish and turn around things around, but they did shoot a record 9-hole game as a team earlier this year, shooting a 153, and those scores were just really impressive. Jacob Wright shot a 37, Brandon Johnston shooting a 37, and then you had Darren Wrinkle shooting a 40, and then you had Bryce Van Cannon shooting a 39, maybe one of his best rounds he might shoot all year. If he can continue to shoot like that, he will be sitting pretty good in the Marshall Dryfirst with a 41, and so those are low scores all across the board. They just, I don't know, have really impressed throughout the year and are setting themselves up for some good, strong play going into the state tournament. They're going to have to do some improving and I don't know, tone a few things down going into the tournament as that state competition, just a whole nother level. But coming off of last year and wanting to make a name for themselves this year, kind of. And as far as making a name, I talk about getting first, second, or third. You know, if they want to get in there and show themselves as a really impressive golf team, they're set on the path to do that. It'll just take a few things getting tightened up here and there, but they're definitely shooting some really good golf. Another team that's doing some good things is Columbus. Now, Columbus is not shooting as well as Scotus is. They're more in that David City realm right now, and if they can pull a few things together, they'll be sitting pretty good. But their most impressive thing is the Norfolk duel now. Columbus High went to Fremont for a triangular between Fremont and Norfolk and fell well into third place. Just didn't shoot great as a team. They were down quite a few strokes, and just wasn't a great day for them overall. But they came back. They had a duel with Norfolk, and ended up getting rescheduled out of Norfolk to play in Columbus. So that's a big help for them. Maybe it just shows you how well they can shoot at that Elks Country Club, which is good for them as they have the Columbus Invite coming up, as well as another duel, and they might have moved that other Norfolk duel back to Norfolk. We'll see what they do right there. But the big story of that Norfolk duel, which happened over this last weekend, was Mitchell Kuhlman, who shot a 33 overall. Now, that's just a straight up impressive score on any course that he's shooting on. Now, the next closest one was Norfolk's Luke Kluver, who shot a 36, but right behind him was Cave DeBauer, who shot a 37. So Norfolk's going to be a top contending team as they go into the state competition. They're playing very good golf. They shot a 156. Shows you how well Scotus was shooting with that 153, but Columbus High shooting a 152 on the day. And like I said, Cave DeBauer getting a 37, Kuhlman getting a 33, Trent Meister getting a 39, John Lucky shooting a 43, and Zach Smith shooting a 43. Now, you look at Meister, Lucky, and Smith. Those are great rounds for those guys as well. Obviously, Meister shooting in the 30s with 39. That's a big time for him. Meister, for most part of the team, kind of comes up right after Cave DeBauer. DeBauer is usually shooting the highest on the team, but then Meister will come in around 30. I don't want to say around 39, but right behind DeBauer as far as scores go, and then it usually goes Kuhlman, Lucky, Smith. But Kuhlman is really just the story of that golf round. Shooting a 33 is unbelievable, and moving forward, if he can, you can't expect that out of him every day because he hasn't shown that that's what he's going to shoot consistently round to round. But if he can get closer to that score of a 33 and shows that he has the potential to shoot that well, now granted he might have just shot out of his mind for one day. I mean, he did shoot out of his mind, but that might have just been one of those types of situations where he was in the zone and nothing could go wrong. But if he can continue that momentum and kind of improve on that, at least get in those upper 30s throughout the rest of the season, he's going to be sitting pretty good. And so I'll be interested to see how these three teams do. So kind of looking over Scouts, they got a chance to, on the back of Tyler Samick, finish well going into the state tournament. Now, I don't know if they're going to do great as a team, but I think Samick could get in that top 20 at least, and hopefully, for his sake, improve on his last year's finish of the tying for 14th place. He's definitely shown that he has ability to do that, and one round of a 78 is not something to go off of, but the fact that he's shooting a low score like that, I think when we get to that state tournament, he will step up and has shown that he has the ability to step up. He showed that last year when he shot that 75 and then finished off with a birdie when he needed that birdie at the end to tie up there for 14th. So he's got a lot of positive things going forward. Scotus, they've improved from last year just a ton. You look at that record round of 153, and that supposed record, I have to double check on that, but a record round of 153, that's a huge boost going in throughout the rest of the season, to know that you can shoot that, to know that you can improve on that. And so I think they'll be sitting pretty good. They'll be a team as a unit to watch out going through state, because they have a strong core group of guys in that top five. And then you got Buchanan, who's coming into the golf team, and he's always golfed a lot, but he hasn't always been on the golf team. And for him to be shooting that well is really cool for them. And then you look at Columbus, who, I looked at a couple of these other games this year and did not think they were going to have a great season as a team. They're doing all right. They're getting a few guys with some top scores here and there. But after that big win over Norfolk, that just shows the ability they have as a team. And really on the back there of Mitchell Kuhlman, or back of Kuhlman, and the amazing round that he shot. Nothing to take away from DeBauer and Meister's 37 and 39 respectively, but if they can shoot some good scores like that again and get some of the other guys to shoot a little lower as well, they could be a heavy contender going into that state competition and going into districts, which most likely you think they'll need to win out of to get in there and get those guys qualified. So that'll be interesting. Coming up next, we're going to talk a little bit of soccer in that triangular between Schuyler, Scotus, and Columbus High. Which team's got what going for them? We'll talk about that right after this. Follow us on Columbus NE News, Columbus News Team, and CNT Grain On. We'll be right back after this video show.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the Marketing Director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platte Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
In many aspects of life, there are lines between where we work and where we play. But when we cross that line, it's when we become connected to our community. At Columbus Community Hospital, neighbors take care of neighbors. With years of experience and training, caring for everyone, young and old, day or night, the expertise to handle the simple and complex, and provide personalized care in your own backyard. It connects us. Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in you. Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference.
In Columbus, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Annette Alt for your insurance and financial needs.
Welcome back to the Geo Show here on News Channel Nebraska and Columbus News Team. We just got done talking a little bit of golf, and now I want to talk a little bit of soccer. Soccer is definitely, I would say, the most popular sport in the area as far as you're talking spring athletics, and a good reason for that is the dominance that a lot of the teams show and the fact that they're getting into that state competition. And when you talk about spring sports, you see a little bit more, sometimes more lax in the media coverage. We try not to be that way. You want to get out and cover as much as possible. Just the fact that it's all over, it's not as consistent like basketball, football, volleyball, some of those sports. It's a lot of away games, a lot of different invites. We were talking about golf and track. Now, soccer is a little bit different. We do a lot of live broadcasts for that. We do get some good coverage on that because they have a decent amount of home games that we can go out and cover, but there's not always a lot of stuff going around in the specific areas so it's a little hit or miss for a lot of media coverage areas when you get into that spring, and it's a little more difficult to cover all the teams. That being said, soccer, we do a lot of live broadcasts, and three teams that got a lot going for them: Schuyler, CHS, and Scotus. Now, when I talk about the triangle between those two teams, I talk about I still think Scotus is the best team probably in the state, but I think Scotus is the best team in their class right now in Class B, and I think moving into the state tournament, they should be the heavy hitter, even though they did lose those two games. We talked about that last week. I think they're probably going to be playing their best ball after coming out of that tournament with more of a fire, more of an energy to compete. It was just a little rough in that tournament, and moving forward, they're going to cause a lot of trouble for a lot of teams. But the two teams in the area, and this is just kind of beautiful because it's going to be happening in prior to postseason, but technically postseason, just not the state competition yet, but in districts. You got Schuyler and the CHS, and I think those two teams could cause the most trouble for Scotus, and would be the two teams that would potentially disrupt that run next, because I think Scotus is going to move through the rest of the season here from this point, undefeated. I'd be surprised to lose another game when they get into that district tournament. Schuyler and CHS. Now, CHS, granted, is playing a heavier Class A schedule, so they might be able to swing in with some power points. Schuyler is number 2 in the state right now, so they might be able to swing in with power points as well. But you're going to want all those teams to win. All those teams are going to want to win that district. And I think Schuyler CHS could disrupt that for Scotus. So looking at that overall, what does Schuyler bring to the table that could disrupt Scotus? And that's their attack. They just got some unbelievable dudes. Some guys that really impressed me were Edgar Romero, Diego Diarcos. Both of those guys have, I believe, now 5 or 6 goals on the season. And then Nathan Katalu, number 13, if you get a chance to go check him out. He is just a blast to watch. And that kid has unbelievable footwork, does a great job in the open field. He can get out in almost as far as what you call sprinting when you're playing soccer and you have the ball with you, as fast as you can run while you're kicking the ball, maintaining possession. He can still maintain control, do jukes and everything, and open stuff up for him. So he is a guy that Scotus is going to have to contain. And then you got the really quick Edgar Romero, who's a little bit shorter, and then Diego Diarcos, who does a good job at finding the back of the net and setting some shots. A lot of heavy hitters, great attack, very much a possession team. They do a good job at possessing the ball, keeping it away from the other team, getting it around and working to find people open. Part of that is due to Katalu's ability to attract defenders because he is so strong. Then you got CHS. The CHS, I think, is more of a defensive team. But that being said, they are a possession team as well. And anytime you watch them play with somebody, they're very physical. They do a great job of holding the ball for a majority of the time. You know, you look at possession times for their games, and they dominate that factor in almost every single one. Even against teams that, I don't know if you want to say are quote-unquote better than them, that they play, they do a fantastic job of possessing the ball there. Just having a little trouble scoring, and now they're finding some goals later in some of the games, and so they were still getting some victories, but they lost that one in North Platte in that shootout after letting one go with about 45 seconds left, and so they're going to get a chance to play them again, and I know they're excited coming off that win over Grand Island to go in there and make some noise. And you look at some of those players, Luis Tarango, Luis Tovar, Luis Arcos, the 3 Luises, and then Jorge Pedroza, and there's a couple other Luis on the team, a lot of Luises on this year's CHS team, but a lot of really talented guys. And so Tarango, Tovar, and Arcos are some big keys to that team, and Pedroza as well, playing that midfield position. He can do some good things. Now, Scotus overall, what do they bring to the table? I mean, they're just an overall fluid team. You watch them. I don't know if you want to call them a possession team, but they just do a really good job of sensing where each other are at. They're very fluid with each other, and they're just a blast to watch. If you get a chance to watch them, you should definitely go see Scotus play because they do a lot of really cool things. And they've had a couple own goals this year, and I don't think that's anything on Shohan. You know, some people may put that on the goalie. I don't think that's anything on Evan because I think he does a really good job and is a very athletic goalie. He's a great guy to have back there. But they just had a few mental lapses on some of their things, and so it'll be interesting to see going forward. I don't know if that should be a case moving forward, but a lot of times it's when they're up on a team 7-0, 8-0, and they slipped an own goal, and it came back to hurt them that one time when they were playing Scud. And technically had an own goal late in that second half, but it was just a very weird section of plays, and that wasn't anything on Shohan or the defenders. I mean, looking back at that tape, it was just a very interesting play, and I don't want to say that's a miscommunication error. I think there was probably communication error down the line that led to the event, but they sent a guy downfield. There was kind of a cluster of dudes, and then the ball just rolled into the goal. It was very weird, but yeah, I think they'll be all right moving forward. And I know some people may doubt them just because of those 2 losses. Without actually going to watch them, you see those 2 losses and think that they're having a slip up, or you see that they're beatable, which they are beatable if you get them out of sync and get them out of rhythm and get them to play your style of ball, which I think CHS can do because they're so physical. That'd be the way they would do that. Schuyler's attack is so heavy that if they can bring an attack, strong attack, that might be the answer for Scotus' strong defense. Now Schuyler would have their hands full dealing with that if they do. So that'll be interesting moving forward into Schuyler and Scotus are going to play each other here in a couple weeks, and then of course when we get into district play, it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. So we'll be back. We're talking a little bit of satellite camps right after this. I'm Grant Otten here on the Geo Show. CNT Grant Otten on Twitter, Columbus Any News also on Twitter, and then Columbus News Team on Facebook. Tweet us if you're curious about anything, or if you want us to talk about something, want me to talk about something. we'll take a look at it. Just let us know. We'll be right back. It's the GO show here on News Channel Nebraska and Columbus News Team.
Our economic future depends on tomorrow's skilled workforce. Dream it, do it. And Central Community College Columbus is here to help young adults find careers in advanced manufacturing and related businesses. Visit dreamitdoit.com for more information or tour the Central Community College Columbus campus.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Hi, I'm Joe Steffi.
And I'm Michelle Steffi.
And we would like to invite you to our new dealership now located on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
We are ready to meet all of your automotive needs.
So come and see what makes us different. Gene Steffi Ford, now on East Highway 30 in Columbus.
Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference.
GO show here on News Channel Nebraska and Columbus News Team. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a preview of what we're going to be doing going into this audio version, the audio section of the show. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about satellite camps and kind of that stuff and how it affects our area and what I think, if it was more popular back when I was coming out, what effect it would have had there. But it's something that's a little bit newer, but a very... I don't know. It's interesting. I'm more on the side of being allowed to do it versus not being allowed to do it. I've heard a lot of different people talk about it, and it's kind of interesting to hear some of these coaches at the college level do interviews and talk about their sides. And it's just very interesting. It's more of a stay out of my backyard type of thing, and so we're going to look into that a little bit. And I don't know. Does it have an effect on our area? I want to say probably not too much. And the reason I want to say that is because a lot of the kids in this area. Who are going to go to that D1 level, who are going to walk on, and we do have kids from small towns all around here that play at that high level and play at that D1 level and get recruited, even if it's a walk-on situation or a scholarship situation, to these D1 schools in the area. And I don't think the satellite camps. What are satellite camps? That would be like Florida coming to Nebraska, most likely Lincoln or Omaha, holding a camp over the summer or something like that to help recruit, to help test out players, and to try and sway some guys to come down to their neck of the woods. And so does it have more of an effect on the Midwest? I would think so, because you got in any smaller size communities, schools that are in smaller size communities, because you got places like Texas, Florida, California, where you got these big populations, obviously a bigger pool of athletes to choose from, and now they can't do that. And it's whether or not a coach will say this, it's because they want to recruit their own area, and they don't want these other schools coming in to pull those guys for themselves. And then you look at, okay, so the argument for some coaches is that it's wasting the student athlete's time, that they're busy doing all this stuff. When is too much too much? I don't even think that's an argument, because a lot of these kids want to go do these things, and you're trying to get looked at by different schools. I know I was trying to go to all these different camps when I was coming out of high school to get noticed by different colleges, and that's a way for maybe a college. They're probably going there. They could be just going there for a couple guys, 1 to 3 guys that they want to really look at, but they might find somebody that they didn't really know about before that really surprised them and gives them something to look forward to going throughout the rest of the season. And so I want to get into that a little bit more as we talk about the audio version, but I appreciate you guys tuning in. Stay tuned for that audio version. Check it out on SoundCloud or check it out on the website, columbusnewsteam.com. It's on SoundCloud under the GO Show, and you can find a link to that on our website or through our Facebook when the story goes up. I'm Gray Knott, and if you want to follow us on Twitter, at CNT Gray Knott is to follow me, or at Columbus NE News to follow the Columbus News Team. Or, of course, you can follow Columbus News Team on Facebook at columbusnewsteam.com. Just go straight to the website. We'll have all the good stuff there. So, for another episode of the GO Show, we'll be tuning in for the audio here for a little bit for another television episode of the GO Show. We will see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the Marketing Director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platt Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices.
Hi, I'm Dee Hansen. I'm the Marketing Director, and we would like to introduce you to Bank of the Valley.
Community-minded, family-centered, measurable relationships. When it comes to your business, agriculture, and personal banking needs, trust Bank of the Valley.
We're obviously a locally owned bank, but we're also a bank that's very involved.
The most important thing is when you walk in the front door, everybody knows your first name. We are small town banking with all the modern conveniences.
Bank of the Valley in Bellwood, David City, Platt Center, and their brand new location in Columbus.
In many aspects of life, there are lines between where we work and where we play. But when we cross that line, it's when we become connected to our community. At Columbus Community Hospital, neighbors take care of neighbors. With years of experience and training, caring for everyone, young and old, day or night, the expertise to handle the simple and complex, and provide personalized care in your own backyard. It connects us. Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in you. Life is about doing those things we love. And when something happens, you risk that connection to those things. It's about the path you follow to recovery, to return to those things that bring a smile to your face. When it comes to physical, occupational, and speech therapy, rely on the experts who combine compassion with excellence in rehabilitative services. The path of personalized, comprehensive, and innovative care to get you where you want to go is at Columbus Community Hospital, specializing in making a difference.
In Columbus, see your good neighbor State Farm agent Annette Alt for your insurance and financial needs.
Would you like to watch this game from above the crowd? When it comes to finding you a new home, the team at Total Realty have a game plan that'll put you above the crowd. Whether you're buying or selling, they will answer your questions and provide an expert offense to put you in the lead during the whole process. The Total Realty team members are real people living in your same community. They have the same concerns as you do, and one might just live in your own neighborhood. Your RE/MAX team members are the hometown experts with the world of experience. They don't just want to sell you homes, they want to make you happy. At Total Realty today, log on to ColumbusTotalRealty.com or see their full list of homes from the Columbus app, available on iPhone and Android devices.
Welcome to Ernst, one of the largest dealers in northeast Nebraska. With 8 acres of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. At the new Ernst, we're doing things differently. Tired of haggling? Tired of back and forth? Let us show you how easy it can be, and we never charge stock fees. Finding the vehicle you want at the best possible price is our priority. We know you can shop anytime, or buy anywhere. Shop Ernst, East Highway 30 in Columbus.